All right, cats, this is the final video for this installment of Hoagies Corner. We are going to discuss now odd man rush scenarios and how to kind of make the best decision based on kind of the scenario. Blue Cross Tom, I'd love for some input from you as well, because it's really good to get goalie's input on an odd man rush situation, because it always helps a goalie to kind of know what the defenseman's gonna do, the defender. So it might not be a defenseman, but whoever's defending the odd man rush. Tom needs to kind of know whether to cover that pass or to cover that shot, because it's really difficult as a goalie to kind of not know. But I'll kind of get into that. But Blue Cross Tom, feel free to give some input in like comments or something. But anyway, let's set up a little scenario of, like, say it's a 2-on-1. So 2-on-1s, they happen. We want to try to avoid them as much as we can. And a good back check can sometimes eliminate threats on a 2-on-1. There's a few things that you can do as a defender in a 2-on-1 situation to try to help. One of the best things to do is to try to just slow them down. So you can just position yourself in an area that's going to make the puck carrier slow down. If you do that, you have then the chance for a back checker to get back and hit him. Or separate him from the puck. So it kind of depends on where they're coming from in the ice. So if they are kind of just both in line with each other, this is one of the most difficult 2-on-1s, because you kind of can't use the space or their angle to your advantage. So they're both kind of streaking almost in a straight line, but not a very long distance from each other. In this scenario, I've always been taught as a defenseman to eliminate the passing option. So that means in the beginning, you kind of want to stay in the middle of the two of them, and they might pass the puck back and forth, but you want to kind of sit right in the middle of those two. So if they're both coming from this way and they're streaking, you want to kind of sit here. Just put yourself, if there's kind of like a triangle, and then that triangle is going to point toward the net. So generally I've been taught to eliminate that passing option first, and then that enables, our man Blue Cross Tom to then just focus on making that save from the shot. And it also usually will slow them down a bit, because if you end up committing and then the puck moves up, he's just got a free breakaway. But it also, say if I was kind of stepped up a bit more and I was really making it obvious that I was going to just guard him, well, the guy's just going to go to the net and he's not going to stop. And then we got no chance for any of our other backtrackers to get back and get him. So generally, again, like Blue Cross Tom can give us some feedback on what he would prefer too. But I think 9 times out of 10 in a 2-on-1 situation, my priority is stopping that pass. So let's kind of break it in. So they're gonna gain the blue line. I think it would be silly for me to try to commit. He's got a free breakaway. So I'm gonna kind of keep moving back, but then I'm gonna kind of slow down, because then I'm gonna try to make the stop somewhere around the hashes. So they're gonna kind of move in. And then as soon as we're around the hashes, that's when I'm gonna kind of just let that guy come up. So I'm not going to move forward. I'm going to kind of just slow down into that passing lane. And then it is a bit tricky, because we also don't want Blue Cross Tom hung out to dry, and this guy's just going to make a sick move. We need to kind of angle him in such a way, so I would take away that passing lane, but then also at the same time try to press him to the outside of the net. So he's forced to, if he's left-handed, go on his backhand, or it takes away his options to cut this way. So I'm taking away that passing lane, my stick's there, but then, while staying in that passing lane, I'm going to try to force him in one direction, so then, Tom can focus on just making that save on the shot. So in a 2-on-1 scenario, just your main priority is just to take away the passing lane while still staying in position. But then again, when it comes time to make the play, it's usually going to develop kind of somewhere around, the slot area, that's when you want to make sure you're still in that passing lane, so you can't just get another quick pass while I try to, move them. So you want to be a bit clever. You could do like a little hesitation move, or like, it's hard to do in NHL. But yeah, there's little like feints I guess you could do. But generally you kind of also want to steer him in such a way that he doesn't have a whole net to shoot at. So only give him half the net, and then, Tom can try to make, he's going to make a save. So it's generally like a 2-on-1. Let's talk about a 3-on-2. So 3-on-2s happen quite often too. So I'll show you just like, I don't know, just the most basic kind of 3-on-2. So it depends on kind of how they enter the zone. So in a 3-on-2, since there isn't enough kind of men here, we're getting our back checkers. They're back checking through the middle of the ice. But they're going to be able to enter the zone cleanly in this situation, because if someone were to step up, that just leaves another man, and then the 2-on-1 develops here. So generally, in an odd man rush, you want to think defensively and try to take away passing lanes. And that's really the main goal, is to just take away that pass, because the less they can work the puck and move it, the less options they have. But it depends on kind of where they're streaking. So we're going to be backing up. These guys are going to come in, say the puck goes to him. There's kind of two things in this scenario. If the puck goes to him, usually you'll have this guy, he goes straight at the net. So he's going to try and pull this defender back, and then that creates the space for him to kind of come in from the side, bang, 1-2 on net. So that's one scenario you can do. That's really tough, and that's also why our back checker, so when he comes over, there could be a back checker who's going to meet, he's going to hit him. But there's not much you can really do there as a defenseman. Because again, if he streaks to the net, he's going to pull that defender back. Say he doesn't, and he steps up to this guy. Well, that's just leaving like a real easy pass for him. So again, that's why it's so important for us as back checkers to get back through the middle of the ice. Because, if he draws that defender down, I'm staying on the puck here, and he comes over. But then, yeah, Biff to the rescue, because he's a ferocious back checker, and then he could disrupt the play there. You generally want to try to slow them down again, because that leaves time for our forecheckers to get back and try to disrupt the play. But it's all about disrupting passing lanes, really. So another scenario, say if he comes through the middle, the man comes through the middle with the puck. So we can't just give him clean entry. So the two of us will close in a bit and continue to back up, but we want to force him to move that puck to the outside, so he doesn't just have a clear lane to the net. So say if he moves it this way, Gambino, you're going to slide a bit this way and put yourself in a passing lane between these two, but you also want to defend him from just having a clear lane to the net. And then it's almost like a little mini 2-on-1. I'd continue to kind of back up. You know what I mean? Sit yourself there. You might have them all kind of ball attack at once, but it's generally kind of putting your body in the right place, and then also not leaving an open lane to the net, because then Tom's got his hands full where he has to make a crazy good save. Try to not give him the whole net to work with. But that's generally, I guess, a good starting point for an odd man rush. So yeah.